What's going on, viewers? Today we're going to play a little game, and it's one of my favorites, and I'm sure it's one of yours too, because anybody that owns a car or has worked on cars or knows about cars knows that one of everybody's favorite things that they always hear when they're talking about cars with their buddies is noises, whether it's a bang, a pop, a squeal, or whatever it may be. So my noise that I've been experiencing was a little bang to start off. But last night it got really loud. And it wasn't in the engine or the transmission. No, it was in the rear suspension. So, what was going on back there? So, pull over, because of course it had to happen in downtown Madison, so yay. Not. But anyways, so pull into a McDonald's parking lot that's just off East Washington Avenue, and got a little strip mall there, you know, so hey, good place to stop. Worst comes to worst, I can get something to eat, right? And I come back here, and all I saw right here was a hole. No stud, no washer, no nut, no bushing. Literally just a hole. That's all I saw. And I was like, I think there's something that's supposed to go there. So, started rooting around a little bit, and I found the shock. It had compressed part way, so these shocks are pretty worn already, even though they're only like 2 years old. But the shock was compressed part way, and it was stuck underneath of the body just outside of the hole, basically. So I was able to prop the car up on a curb and able to get the shock actually back up into the hole. And that's when the fun really started, because yeah. So I ended up pulling back this trunk liner a little bit more, dug around back in there, and I found all those parts, and I even found the old nut. I got no idea where it went now, in the giant abyss that is my trunk. But nut was all wallowed out. So I'm thinking to myself, now what the heck am I gonna do now? So I had, in that strip mall that I mentioned, with the McDonald's next to it, there were 3 stores in that entire strip mall. There was a liquor store, a head shop, and a Dollar Tree. So yeah, let's just say options were slim, because I didn't really want to drive the car with 3 out of 4 shocks on it. And because I don't have this car fully paid off yet. Almost, but not quite. So, I stayed in the parking lot there. I thought for a few minutes, and I went into the Dollar Tree there, and I was hoping that they'd have some, like, I didn't care if they were the cheapest pot metal vice grips I had ever seen. I was really just hoping for a pair of vice grips. No vice grips. So, go back in there again, look around some more, and I find a pair of pliers and some zip ties. So yeah, I made my own vice grips, and they worked for about 22 miles roughly, until anybody that knows Wisconsin roads knows they're not very forgiving. I hit a pretty sizable bump doing about 45 miles an hour on a back road, and you know, the whole thing just flew apart again. I kind of figured it was going to happen. It was dark out. I was looking for deer. I didn't see the bump in the road, and yeah, let's just say mistakes were made. So, finally just booked it back home. Wasn't going to stop at that point anymore. It was already too late. I was getting too tired. I was getting frustrated. So, came back home, and then slept on it, and came back out this morning, and I remembered, hey, I tore apart about 3 Japanese motorcycles right over there. I wonder if any of that hardware is similar sizes. So I went and looked. Sure enough, yeah, it was. I found another 12 millimeter nut by 125 thread, and it actually has a 14 millimeter flats on it. So it's actually a 14 millimeter, but the stud size is 12 millimeter. And sure enough, it was a lock nut even. I think it was actually one of the engine mount bolts out of the Suzuki. So I'm calling that a win. You know what I mean? Put it all back together, slam the bushings in it. It all seems good. So I think that we're going to be in good shape though. So yeah. That's my little anecdote on today's episode of What's That Noise? So, I guess the moral of the story is if you guys hear a noise, investigate. It's the best thing you can do, investigate. So, don't let it keep going because chances are it's probably just going to get a lot worse on you. But anyways, so this is Kurt the Car Guy going out there to remind you that there's still junk out there. Go out and fix it. Might as well try and save it, right? But anyways, Kurt the Car Guy, hope you guys are having a good spring. And this is Kurt the Car Guy, signing off.